Hi everybody, my name is Amber Stanley. I'm the Assistant Director of Calling and Career at Taylor University. Welcome to our Life Design module on Wayfinding. I hope that you've had a chance to complete the modules before this one on an introduction to the life design model, on spending some time determining your gifts and your talents, your natural inclinations, as well as pausing to consider some good lives that you might lead through Odyssey planning, and then finally prototyping and coming up with some ways that you can test those Odyssey plans. So if you haven't had a chance to do all of that, I highly recommend that you hit pause and go back and give it a try. But for now, let's focus on wayfinding. So at this point, we're going to talk about really how we figure out how we best move forward in all of these things that we've talked about so far. And wayfinding is the way to do that. So what is wayfinding? Well, according to Design Your Life, wayfinding is the ancient art of figuring out where you're going when you don't actually know the destination. For wayfinding, you need a compass and a direction, not a map. So think of explorers like Lewis and Clark. They didn't have a map. They had to figure it out as they went along, taking notes and keeping track of the direction that they were going and the discoveries that they made. That's wayfinding. So some helpful clues in your own wayfinding process, the things that you're going to want to pay attention to as you go about your own wayfinding are engagement. Engagement refers to how excited you are, focused you are, or how much of a good time you're having when you're doing a particular thing. Flow represents total engagement, complete involvement, euphoria. So you're cooking, you're trying a new recipe, you could do this forever. You are living your best life. That's flow. Energy. Does an activity give you energy or take it away? These are three wayfinding clues that will help you start to discern how the different activities and experiences that you have affect you. And that'll give you some insight really into your best life. All right, so as we move forward, trying to figure out how to do this wayfinding process, we find ourselves faced with good time journaling. So this is something that has a weird name, but it's a super helpful concept. So what you're seeing on the right is pulled again directly from Designing Your Life. This is an example of a professor using good time journaling to track his experiences throughout the day. Now, if you've been with us for a while, you might recognize these gauges from Odyssey planning. We used those before to track how excited we were about our different Odyssey plans. This particular sheet represents one day of this professor's life. So imagine if you did this process every day or even a few times a week for like 3 weeks. Just imagine how much information you would have about yourself. So I think that this is a really exciting process, and I'm glad that you're considering it. Now I want you to notice something. Notice on this professor's sheet that faculty meetings actually have pretty low engagement for him. That is something, if you know anything about being a professor, you know that you cannot avoid faculty meetings. So just because something falls low on your scale doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you're going to be able to get rid of. So he can't avoid them, but he can strategize how to approach them. So let's take a look at that. All right. What I'm going to ask you to do is do your own good time journaling activity. So I'd like for you to use this worksheet or create one that's similar with these little gauges on the side to complete a log of your daily activities. I'd like for you to note when you're engaged or energized, or the opposite. Try to do this daily or at least every few days. And if you can, keep it up for 3 weeks. So this is the reason why I put this particular activity at the end of all the modules, not in the middle. In the book, they introduced this way before Odyssey planning, but it's simply not practical. If I made you stop and do this for 3 weeks, I was afraid you wouldn't stick with me. So if you've been with me this entire journey, you can go ahead and go back and insert this in front of Odyssey planning if you want to. Regardless, if you can do this for 3 weeks, you will have a wealth of information to use that will help you move forward. Now, at the end of each week, I want you to note which activities are engaging and energizing and which ones are not. And also note any surprises or discoveries that you've made about yourself. So once you identify patterns of activities that give you energy and those that take it away, what you can do is you can sandwich the bad in between the good. So for example, if working out is a real downer, but having coffee with a friend is high on engagement and energy, you can schedule your day so that the coffee follows your workout. Now, that's not super revolutionary, but long term, this deep level of self-understanding can help you identify how to structure your life to foster joy and fulfillment. It gives you deeper insight into who you are and what you were made to do, and offers insight into examples of good lives that you could lead. So I hope that you find this to be a really fruitful activity. I hope you enjoy it. And once again, just remember, at any point, we are here to help you. So if you feel like you could use someone to walk alongside you in this life design process, we encourage you to reach out. And that's for prospective students, current students, and alumni alike. The Calling and Career Office is here for you. Okay, off to good time journaling. Enjoy.